What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself, Coach the Brains and Brawn of this whole situation. Coach Miguel Santos in the building. What's going on, Coach? How you been?
Yo, I'll be good.
We we are just we're less than 24 hours away. We are less than 24 hours away from the NFL season kickoff with the Super Bowl champion, the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Let me say that again because it makes my teeth cleaner every time I say it. The defending Super Bowl champions Philadelphia Eagles will be kicking off tomorrow against the Dallas Cowboys at the time of the taping of this show, and we are live. It is 9:03 in the PM here in the city of Philadelphia. But before we get into the football, we got a lot of other things to get into. I already asked Miguel how he's been. Um, I made it real subtle this time. I didn't make it a whole production, right? So if you have any more to add, Miguel, now is the time. But we got to get into the show because the Eagles play tomorrow.
All I got is I plead innocent of all charges.
All right, you heard what he said. You heard what he said. So when it comes up, understand he's already pleading innocent. So before we get into the football, because we got to get into football, we're going to talk about a little bit of baseball and a few other things as well, of course. But definitely stick around because the football stuff is going to arrive. We got a lot to talk about. We got some Cowboy stuff to talk about, some Eagles stuff to talk about. Um, Football starts tomorrow, man. I'm just happy. But let's go with this. Let's start it off. Last time we were on a couple weeks ago. Of course, last week we didn't air. Um, Zach Wheeler. The news about Zach Wheeler has come down that he is done for the season. He will not be returning for the playoffs. Wasn't necessarily expected for him to return for the playoffs, but there people were holding on to hope that there was a possibility that he could be returning for the playoffs, but that's not going to happen. He could return spring training or early season next year. That's what they're talking about. Maybe some spring training workouts, possibly. We shall see. With that happening, Miguel, do you see the Phillies' chances at
Season's
bringing
over.
home the title? Season's over.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me what you really think. Tell me how you really feel. 'Cause I
You're
know they're
eight.
stringing you along with how they're playing lately. I know they're stringing us along.
Yeah, every professional team has done. The only team that has successfully strung us along is the Eagles' first Super Bowl championship. Because I think we were underdogs for every one of those playoff games, and everybody in the city was like, "Oh, at least we made it this far." Every single week, at least we made it this far. At least we made it this far.
Hey,
But
I told
you know, um,
you in a bottle.
I think it's going to be a challenge from the standpoint of you basically swapped Wheeler for Aaron Nola, and you know how I feel about Aaron Nola,
Mm-hmm.
and his starts have been so. Um,
At best.
at best. I think even in that one game where the Phillies blew out the Braves like 19-4, Nola still gave up the 4 runs. So it's like,
Right.
you know what I mean.
In his defense, he gave up those runs in like one inning, and then
That
kind of
doesn't
I think it was the second inning or the
that
first
doesn't make
inning. I think.
that makes it none the better.
Giving up 4 runs, giving up 4 runs. But the fact that he was able to really shut him down the rest of his time in there was kind of that was good to see. I mean, it was the Braves, but it was good to see.
In the playoffs, that's not going to carry over. So
Probably not. Probably not. But we already know, as far as the Phillies concerned, the hitting doesn't carry over to the playoffs either. So
what I mean, that's what's been helping them so far. I don't know. Part of me is optimistic because of Suarez is looking like he might be finally getting over the second half hump because the last 3 seasons in the second half of the season, his ERA shoots up by like one, and his velo goes down a little bit. He looks like he fatigues pretty easy. So
I
far, I
told you,
haven't seen
I
too
told you
much
what my fear is, though. There,
that they
my
over.
fear, No, my fear is that he really didn't have play in the first half of the season. He played a
You
little
mean
bit. He played a little bit first half, but not he didn't start out the season. He came in a couple months into the season. So
right?
his second half could be this month.
Right. The other thing is because he has experience pitching out of the bullpen, you might be better off using him as a extension of, if Nola gets, hit early, then you can bring him in to kind of, be the innings eater in the playoffs.
Mm.
I mean, it really doesn't look good.
Who you going with? Give me, and it could be the same person, okay? But you have to go with a starter. This person as a starter. You have to choose one of the other of a starter and one of the other as a coming out of the bullpen, and it can be both people. Taijuan Walker or Nola as a starter in the playoffs. Silence.
Because I have yet to see Walker in the playoffs. I've seen Nola in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
He
Um,
didn't. What we didn't have Walker in that first run.
we did, but he wasn't. I don't believe he pitched.
Okay.
Because I think there was an issue. I think he was coming back from an injury, and
Gotcha.
they had him warming up in Arizona that one season, and they decided not to pitch him, and everybody was like, "What the hell? Why isn't he pitching?" And they decided against it. Um,
So Nola or Walker starting.
I guess Nola, but I'm not happy about it.
Nola or
Um,
Walker coming out of the bullpen.
yeah, I mean, I guess that could work because Nola. I mean, Walker has surprised me coming out of the pen. Um,
Mm.
I like him as an innings eater, so maybe that'll work. So yeah, I would have Nola with Taijuan Walker already stretching.
Okay. Ryan said he thought the feed froze when I asked that question, and you just kind of went silent on him. The dead silence.
That's
He was
that
in
that
deep
shows how
thought.
much that shows how much confidence I have in Aaron Nola.
And Taiwan Walker,
Yeah.
for that matter. The both of them. He says got to be Walker starting because he's going to blow a game.
See, that's what I,
So I guess is he saying he's gonna start him because maybe you get a chance to come back,
right.
as opposed to putting him in the bullpen and he's going to blow the game from the bullpen and you're not going to have as much time to come back.
And that's what I'm tossed between, but
I mean, it really and
it's a
you know,
tale of two
I'm
pitchers.
not going to dwell on it too long, but it really depends on for both guys. It depends on which Nola and which Walker you get, because Walker has had outings where he's been pretty dominant this year. It hasn't been the reg. And then Nola, you kind of know what you'll get with Nola. I don't know what he did today, but when I turned the game on, he had gave up a couple runs. I turned the game on.
It's 5-0 Milwaukee, so there's your answer.
Okay, how many did he
Oh,
give up outside of the two?
excuse me, it's 6-1.
Don't worry about it. We'll have somebody
I can
we'll have
multitask.
somebody tell me how many runs Nola gave up.
Oh,
So
he's still pitching,
he's still pitching, so he gave up all those runs, whether they
and
were earned.
all of them are earned.
All of them were earned,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that the one score came in and they gave Bader an error on the throw.
Well, maybe they changed it because it has six. He's pitched four, or is he still pitching? Yeah, 4 in the third. It's the bottom of the fifth. 4 in the third. 6 earned runs, 5 Ks, and 2 walks.
Well, they must have changed
And
that
yes,
call.
no, they did charge Bader with the error, but apparently, I don't think he scored. I don't think that error
Oh no,
scored.
he scored. I was watching.
Oh
So
well,
what happened? Well, I don't know if you saw it. So what happened was it was a fly ball to center field, landed in front of Bader. He went to make the throw. Throw came in, bounced. Alex Bohm should have made the play. Goes right past Alex Bohm, and the guy goes and runs in and scores.
How did Bader get charged with the error then? If it, I guess because it
That's
hit
what
the
they were saying
ground.
on TV. I
I guess
don't know.
because it hit the ground
It's a
technically.
throwing error. I guess they charged him with the throwing error, although Bohm should have. I mean, I guess it just went right past his glove. I don't know.
Yeah,
And then
boom.
Nola wasn't in position to back it up because he was in position behind the plate to back up because the bases were loaded at the time.
No, you know why he wasn't in position? Because he's Aaron Nola.
I mean, you know, I'm trying to give the real definition. You want to give the emotional one. It's all good.
Emotional. He's down 6-0. How's that emotional? That's evidence.
So the fact that he was.
I'm changing my answer. I'm changing my answer.
Let me break down what you said. Let me break down why it's emotional. You said he was in the wrong position because he's Aaron Nola. That's emotional. That's what's emotional. That's what's emotional. Because remember what I said, the bases were loaded. You know, the pitcher goes between third and home for the play to back up a play. He went to home. He went to the plate because somebody was scoring. Unfortunately, because he's Aaron Nola, he ain't fast enough to go back up third.
Exactly my point. You do that. You like to circle around the crap that I say, only for me to.
No, I mean, because you're the emotional fan and I'm not.
What? Okay, you're
go look at every single one of our shows and tell me who's the emotional fan of the two of us without saying the word Embiid.
Oh, see, you see what you just did. You
see how I said? Did you see how I said one person? One person in the whole realm of Philadelphia sports. Whereas I could probably bring up a few names in the conversation we just had, and you'll have the same reaction. Anyway, let's not forget you want to trade Nola. Let's not forget you did want to trade Schwarber earlier this year. Let's not forget that.
Okay. And why did I change on Schwarber? Because he made an adjustment. Now he's showing the true hitter that he is capable of being.
Emotion.
It's not emotion. When he was batting leadoff and he was batting 120 with like 40 home runs and 42 RBIs. That made no sense to me. That's not emotion. That's fact. Now
that's the coach's decision to have him batting leadoff.
And it was a stupid decision.
I'm a leadoff hitter, but he did have the best on base percentage of leadoff hitters.
And that helped in the playoffs.
And remember, I didn't like it. I didn't like it either. Let's not forget that. I didn't like the fact that he was leading off either.
Right. And all I was saying was Schwarber
home runs, didn't he?
Huh?
Didn't he still hit 40-something home runs from the leadoff spot?
Yeah, but it was 40 home runs and like maybe like 90 RBIs.
That's not his fault. That's not his fault. He was batting in leadoff. That's not his fault.
I get that part.
It's the organization's fault for misusing a power hitter like Kyle Schwarber.
I would put
Bryce Harper batting first before Kyle Schwarber.
I would agree with that. He is more than leadoff. If those are your two choices, yeah, I definitely would do. I personally, Trey Turner should be a leadoff hitter, but he goes back and forth between mentally being a leadoff hitter and then wanting to be like Schwarber and Harper at the same time. So it's like,
and Trey Turner quietly is having a pretty decent season at the plate.
He is. I mean, but he's always been like a 300 hitter, and I still can't believe
last 2 years.
Yeah, I still can't believe he just hit his first home run at Citizens Bank like a couple weeks ago. That was like his first home run. I'm like, damn.
And you know what's crazy? So that was supposed to be his.
Oh yeah, it was like
1500th hit.
Yeah, 1500th hit.
But it wasn't.
I thought it was.
Like they changed it later to where there was a hit that he got. I want to say they changed it to a hit. It was a play, I think, that wasn't considered a hit, for maybe it was an error or something. But they end up going back days later and changing it to a hit. So that home run was actually probably, let's just say 1501.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to 1500. That's the crazy. That's one thing I don't like about baseball. You could just go back,
and
change history. That part of baseball, I don't like how they do that.
To
But
score
I
is
guess that's what makes baseball baseball, right?
I guess.
And speaking of what makes baseball baseball, the Field of Dreams game, Miguel. You found out that the Phillies are going to be involved with that. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Major League Baseball is planning the Field of Dreams game, which for those that don't know, if you're a true baseball fan, you know the movie Field of Dreams about the Kevin Costner. If you build it, he will come. And there's a Iowa farm where he builds a baseball field on this farm. They've already had
Uh-oh.
that was the Chicago.
And you have signal issues over there. Okay, you're back. Go ahead.
Um, did they? It was just the White Sox Yankees game, right? That they had the Field of Dreams game. Wasn't there another one?
This year?
Not this year. I know there wasn't one this year, but I
Was it
thought there was.
last year? Was it 2 years ago? I believe it
Well,
was White Sox Yankees. I get them mixed up with the Little League game and the Negro League game. Like I get them mixed up because they have
right,
some
because last year it was the Negro League game. That was the Giants
Greenwood Field.
in Birmingham, Alabama, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, the Eagles, the Phillies will be matched up against the Minnesota Twins. Um, I believe the Twins will be playing as the home team, but they haven't finalized the rest of that schedule. But it's supposed to be in August of 2026. They'll be playing the Field of Dreams game.
Well, good for them. It's not going to be a home game for them. It's going to be a home game for the Twins, which means the Phillies don't lose a home game, right?
Correct.
And will this be part of a series or will it just be a one-off game?
I believe it's a one-off. I thought the Yankees, White Sox, and the Yankees Tigers was a one-off.
Gotcha.
I don't
All
think
right.
it was a series, but
So Babe Ruth was charged in a fraud case.
oh yeah. You want to explain that one?
Yeah, please do.
So apparently, a man with the same name as Babe Ruth, um, he's facing charges alleging that he used the names of hundreds of dead or retired baseball players to make phony claims for payouts in class action settlements. George Herman Ruth is charged
That's his
with
real name, George
that's his
Herman
real
Ruth.
name. George Herman Ruth, which is the real name of Babe Ruth,
Right.
is charged with 91 counts in the indictment. He's from Tennessee. This happened back on August the 12th. The 69-year-old is charged with mail fraud, aggravated identity theft, fraudulent use of social security numbers, money laundering, making false statements to his probationary officer, possessing firearms after being previously been convicted of felonies. Let's see. The indictment says Ruth obtained or attempted to obtain more than $550,000 through his scheme. He sought
That's it.
payouts and that's it. He sought payouts in lawsuit settlements that range from contact lens pricing allegations to claims of racial discrimination against a staffing agency. He opened more than a dozen post office boxes in several Tennessee cities for himself and the sham companies, then submitted hundreds of fraudulent claims across the class action administrators throughout the country. Yeah, he used old baseball players' names, variations of his own name, and social security numbers of unwitting victims. So yeah, he's
So his name is George Herman Ruth, which is I'm just wondering if they kind of did that on purpose, right? Like his last name Ruth, they named him George, they give him the name Herman on purpose. But I wonder like if his nickname was Babe.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of got to be.
And then I'm wondering how it was only 500,000 when he's I don't know. I feel like he should have made more money. Maybe they caught him early.
But if you're claiming contact lenses, I mean, how much
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
keep?
so that's true.
It's like
Good point.
little. Maybe he was trying to be like on the down low to make it not look so obvious. But then he does something and claims something in the name of Philadelphia Athletics players, St. Louis Browns, and Kansas City Packers players. Like teams that didn't exist for like 100 years. He was claiming on their behalf.
That's dumb and smart at the same time.
Yeah.
Can't nobody fight it. Nobody there to fight it. Like who's fraudulently using my name? But whatever. It's dumb. It's dumb because he did it. So here's something. So we got some football to talk about, y'all. Eagles kick off tomorrow, so we're gonna get there. But here's something, Miguel, that I kind of I guess I no, ain't no guess. I understood the conversation, but I really was like, why is it such a big deal? And it's the fact that Bryce Harper in the Mets series and in the Brave series too. Well, we could also bring that up, but in the Mets series, wore opposing teams' colors with his accessories. Why is that such a big deal to people? Like to me, I didn't even notice. First of all, I didn't even notice till I heard it on the radio. But why is that such a big deal? Is it because they lost?
It doesn't make any sense. It's like I don't even understand. So this is what he apparently he ordered this rivalry pack, which I thought was only on the show, the video game, the show. But apparently, they're picking up.
He is Bryce Harper.
Whatever.
It probably is just for the show and Bryce Harper and guys like that.
So this is what he said when challenged on it, because he wore bright orange batting gloves, blue cleats to face the New York Mets. So he's wearing Mets colors against the Mets. So he's quoted as saying, "My favorite cleats that I'm going to wear are later this year. It's actually the rivalry pack. And so with certain teams, I'm going to wear their colors against them. So like when we go into a certain stadium, I have their team's colors as my cleats and my batting gloves." I thought that was just like a cool thing that I could do. What?
I don't have a problem with it personally.
But it doesn't make. Why would you? First of all, I'm surprised that Major League Baseball, as nitpicky as professional sports are, that's not a uniform violation. I'm surprised they haven't said anything.
Good point. I think the NFL is probably the NFL would have been the ones. Like I feel like baseball and the NBA are. I feel like baseball is probably the most lax out of at least baseball, football, basketball. Basketball is kind of right there, but I feel like there's like basketball banned guys from wearing headbands that didn't have the NBA logo.
Right.
Like if you had Nike, a headband, you couldn't wear it anymore. It had to be an NBA logo.
Yeah, that part I don't like. I don't. I think I know that a lot of it is licensing and all that garbage, but I think if a player is contracted with some other thing, so what? But I don't know. Wearing another team's.
I mean, it's kind of. I can see it as disrespect. I can see where that can come in as kind of disrespectful. But
I'm not even coming at it from the point of disrespect. It's just like, can you imagine like if this were college and like Alabama players were wearing like, Texas, stuff. Like I don't understand the
they would make a big story out of it, kind of like people were doing now. But here's my thing, Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies swept the Braves, right? No, they 3 out of 4 games.
3 out of 4.
Bryce Harper also wore Atlanta stuff, but nobody had anything to say about that.
Well, probably because their colors are more closer together with the red and the blue. They're a darker blue. We're a brighter blue.
The cleats were yellow, which is not highly associated with Atlanta, but they do have like a yellow.
Well, I know what's the name?
They were yellow and red.
What's the name? Acuna wears yellow because he's from Venezuela, so he wears the yellow sleeves and the yellow. Like I've seen yellow from certain players from certain countries representing their flag and stuff. Like Bader. Bader wears all his his batting gear, his elbow protector and his shin guards. They're like a purple, fuchsia, and like aqua. So like I guess that I get, but to wear an opposing team's colors, it doesn't.
Let's put it like this. Here's how I end the conversation. I end this conversation.
Can you imagine it? Hold on. Can you imagine an Eagles player wearing a Dallas Cowboy cleats?
And I'm glad you brought that up. And here's what I was about to say. Because it was Bryce Harper, right? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it being Bryce Harper. I'm okay with it being Saquon Barkley. I'm okay with it being uh give me somebody give me somebody on the Sixers they ain't hurt all the damn time.
Embiid.
I was going to say Embiid, but he's hurt all the damn time. And I was going to say Maxey, but I don't think Maxey is there yet. Right? He's not that level yet to me.
But
But say if it was Taiwan Walker doing it, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? If it was Bryson Stott, well, yeah, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
If it were Taiwan Walker doing it, I'd actually kind of understand. And that's probably the reason why he's such a crappy pitcher.
That's a whole different. That's now you're coming from a different angle. So yeah, but I don't have a problem with it, right? And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing more players do it. Not necessarily from the Phillies, but around the league.
But it doesn't. It's just a thing. That's it. It's just because it's a thing.
Well, here's the thing: had they not gotten swept by the Mets, this conversation wouldn't even be this long. Because we would say Bryce Harper killed the Mets while wearing their colors, and we would think it was cool.
But is that what was that the original plan? Like,
Probably.
I'm gonna wear your colors and then like
and wear y'all out, probably. And he didn't, right? And he didn't.
hate this generation. You hear me? I hate how this generation thinks. I hate how they walk. I hate how they smell on the bus. Like I don't understand any of it, and it makes no sense. And when you try to,
you see this, these little white things in here that make all the black ones look like it's minuscule. That's what that is. You have some too. If you want to look, you have some too.
I have a lot.
That's what that is. That's what that is. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. The Women's Pro Baseball League. I've had a few conversations about this. The Women's Pro Baseball League. Tell me about this. Talk to me.
So this was actually I saw the news story bringing back bringing up the name of Monet Davis, who was the famous little leaguer. Man, it was like 10 years ago, wasn't it? 10, 12 years ago.
Close to 10, yeah. If not more.
So she's been not tasked, but she's been kind of promoted to prepare pro female baseball players to start playing games in May of 26. It'll be 6 teams playing an eight game regular season, not including playoffs or all-star game. Right now, as far as the way it looks, it will be 15 players per team via a draft coming in October. All games will be played in 2 or 3 neutral sites like Hartford, Connecticut, Manchester, New Hampshire, and possibly a third city. 7-inning games will be played on regulation 90-foot diamonds with aluminum bats. So they're trying to kind of make it look dramatically different from the old All-American Girls Professional Baseball League from back in the day, which had more rules closely aligned with softball than hardball.
That I did not know.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. The league has partnered with Fremantle, which is a production company best known for the Got Talent and Idol franchises.
That's Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell, yeah, to produce content and to show the games. So, I mean, it's kind of exciting,
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I'm not as interested as I should be, but I'm very intrigued to see how it works out. Only because I'm going to inherently compare it to softball, with college softball.
right.
And personally, and I've said this to you many times, I enjoy watching softball more than I enjoy watching baseball because there's a lot more action. There's a lot more things going on.
Yeah,
And
college
it's a
softball.
competitive game.
Yeah, college softball is definitely like I enjoy watching it. Yeah, I definitely enjoy
Yeah,
watching it.
absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
And so if you're taking me from if you're taking my mind frame from that to a professional baseball game that's slower and not as action intense, I don't know how much I'm going to be interested in. Like
I,
they're probably going to have some way to like the common baseball fan probably won't be interested.
I don't understand why they don't just have
Or
professional softball league.
I'm sorry, I made me change. The uncommon baseball fan probably won't be interested.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The professional softball league would be interesting because, like we said, it's more visually appealing as far
Yeah,
as the action. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm intrigued. I'm not interested yet, but we'll try to see how they promote it, which could kind of garner the interest. Especially, I mean, they're probably going to have Monet Davis be the face of the league. They're probably going to use a lot of her. They're going to remind you of her little league days and what she did, and now she's grown and all like that. But she did play softball in college.
right.
She played at Hampton University, so we shall see. We shall see. Um, let's talk some football, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk some football. NFL kicks off tomorrow. Eagles tomorrow night. Eagles Cowboys from the link from Philadelphia. Before we get into that game, though, I'm going to talk about another game real quick. I just want to kind of get this out of the way just because. The next day is the Brazil game, and it's going to be Chargers and Chiefs.
Ah, that's right.
And, and that's going to be on YouTube, I believe. YouTube
YouTube
TV,
TV.
maybe, whatever the case may be. Jason Kelsey has been banned from that game. He's been banned from that game because
I love contracts, don't you?
reading into the article, Jason Kelsey is an ESPN personality. And from what I was reading, ESPN is not too big on sharing their personalities to other broadcasters. So he has been, and it's the Chiefs game is Brazil. Jason Kelsey he's probably going to be there unless he's working
Mhm.
because he's very supportive of his brother, and they have the podcast that's just a notch under ours, and they they really support each other. So it's a shame he won't be on that broadcast, but I mean that's the business.
Yeah.
That's the business. You don't see too many other ESPN personalities on Fox Sports or NBC or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting though with this whole new. They got the basketball deal and all that, but I just wanted to get that out the way real quick. I just thought that was interesting. Um, Real quick mention Bill Belichick debut as a college football coach. They got waxed by TCU. They were underdogs going into the game. And as anybody that has had to put a team together, um, had to start a team that you wanted to put together, that first year don't usually go well for you. Usually don't go well for you. Unless you can be like Deion Sanders and get like 5-star athletes to come and transfer to Jackson State University. But
And I gotta say this because I saw the video this morning. It doesn't help when your girlfriend, who's 42 years younger than you, is on the sidelines saying, "Hey, what's up?" And then you respond during the middle of the game.
yeah, are you really locked in, Bill? I'm not questioning you, but I'm questioning you. Are you really locked in?
He's
You
not
know, and
locked
and
in.
and the world knows I'm a North Carolina, University of North Carolina basketball fan. Not necessarily North Carolina football fan, but I do root for the school. So when I see them playing, I tend to root for them. And I don't like seeing them get waxed the way they did yesterday or a couple days ago. That was pretty bad. Like they got trounced. Um, let's talk about this. Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons, their best player by far, in my opinion, probably yours too. Their best player, they traded him to the Packers. Personally, my God, there were a lot of people rejoicing in this trade. I didn't like it at all. I was like, wow, like I did not like it, man. Like I saw it and I was just like, I was kind of blown by it. Not the fact that he's not a Cowboy. Like I could care less about that. But now he's a Packer, and the Packers are one of those teams that's one of the obstacles for the Eagles. They played the Eagles last year in the playoffs. So now you add Michael Parsons to that mix. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. However, Eagles don't play the Packers until do they play Packers this year? I think they
I don't
do.
think so.
No,
If
I
they
know
do,
Cowboys play the Packers. I think
Cowboys
this
play
year.
the Packers, but I don't think we do.
Cowboys we don't. So we wouldn't have to see them into the playoffs if at all. But you heard that news come down about Michael Parsons becoming a Cowboy. I'm sorry, getting traded from the Cowboys. And I know you were locked into it. To you'd be locked in on that stuff. So, what was your initial reaction? How did you feel about it? Were you laughing your behind off? Like how did this go down for you?
I mean, the first thought was Green Bay. I was like, oh, that's gonna that makes them better, formidable opponent. But it makes me laugh because, and I want to start watching that documentary America's Team because I've been hearing a lot about it lately on Netflix. Just mainly because like it goes into the mind of Jerry Jones and stuff like that, and it's like, how egotistical do you have to be able to let your franchise player walk? Apparently, it was over $3 million, and then you trade him to a team that you're going to play. So it's like he's at his age, he's still into the theatrics of it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like it doesn't matter. It's almost like when he's asked if he wants to win, he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, of course I want to win." However, and he said this at press conferences. At the end of the day, people are talking about the Cowboys, Cowboys this, Cowboys that. So it's like I would absolutely want to jump off a bridge if I was a Cowboys fan right now.
Yeah, some of them did. Some of them did.
I just
And what you
so
said,
glad. I'm so glad we have Roseman
yeah,
versus
absolutely. I'm
Jerry
glad we
Jones.
have Roseman. I'm glad we don't have to see Michael Parsons twice a year. But what you said about the theatrics. So we know that Jerry Jones does not like the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, right? A rival. He shouldn't like the Eagles, right? Why would he like the Eagles? And all the talk after the schedule comes out and it was like, oh, the Eagles are opening up against the Cowboys, ring night, they're gonna unveil the banner, blah, blah, blah. That's what the talk was about. And the Cowboys were on the end of that talk. They were not in the beginning of that talk. The beginning of the talk was the Eagles. Then Micah says, I don't want to be a Cowboy anymore. I want my money. Jerry likes that. Jerry likes now people are talking about the Cowboys in the A block again. Okay. And for people that don't know, the A block is the first block of the show. Then they trade him. Now, nobody's talking about the fact that the Eagles are unveiling the banner against the Cowboys first day. They're talking about how can the Cowboys do this? How can the Cowboys do that? Blah, blah, blah. The talk is not Eagles. The talk is Cowboys. Jerry Jones stole the headlines from the Eagles. He stole those headlines from the Eagles. And I'm one to say that he did it. Maybe his intention wasn't to do it this way, but he stole those headlines on purpose. He wanted those headlines. He wanted those headlines. Now, like I said, maybe his intentions was not trade my best player away, but he saw the opportunity. Because he didn't have to trade him. He had him under contract for 3 more years.
Right.
He didn't have to trade him.
I've
And
never.
quick, I'm sorry. Let me just say one thing real quick, and I'll let you go. And then he says we need to stop the run. And we know we know he's a pass rusher. Within Jerry, I'm not trying to help you, but get people in there to stop the run so Micah can continue to do what he does well. But it's too late. He's already gone. Go ahead, Miguel. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I've never witnessed any team growing up where their fan base almost wishes that their leadership would die to, to have the potential to have a winning franchise.
It kind of like I was younger. We both were younger at the time, but it kind of reminds me of like when people wanted Norman Brayman to sell the team. Like they wanted him gone. They wanted him out of Philadelphia. They didn't want him dealing with the team at all. And I don't think Harold Katz was the same way. So I'm not even going to say that.
No, I
But
thought Harold Katz was, I thought, just as bad, if not worse, because
that's what I don't remember. I don't.
No,
remember.
he was, because he inherited the team. I think he inherited the team shortly before they won their last championship, and then after he got Barkley, that's when he started making the trades.
Okay, so he messed the team up.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, he set the team back like 10, 15 years.
So the Eagles kick off tomorrow against the Cowboys. Unveil the banner, like I said, in front of the Cowboys, in front of Jerry. Do you think Jerry will be in his press box visible when the Eagles are unveiling their banner, or he'll be in the bathroom or trying to get something to eat?
No, he'll be there.
He'll be there. I'm saying, will he be visible? Will
he'll be visible? Him and his girlfriend, Chris Christie, will be sharing the box again.
I forgot Chris Christie's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, they like to eat each other's donuts. So they'll definitely be in the box, waving hello, accepting the boos. Yes, you know what I mean. He's like the Vince McMahon of the NFL. Like
Jerry Jones or Chris Christie?
Jerry Jones.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
Because it's like there's, especially the last couple of years, things are starting to come out about him, and he's just, yeah.
He's Jerry. He's Jerry. No, I didn't put the phone number out. I turned the phones on. Never put the phone number. Yes, I did. I put the phone number out there. So what are your thoughts on tomorrow? Like, is this one of them games where it's like, you know what, the Eagles, they can't just throw their shoes out there, but can the Eagles just throw their shoes out there and win the game?
I never can do that. Even when I see it was like the Super Bowl. Like there's no reason why the Eagles could not beat the Chiefs. And then even as they were beating them, it's like, okay, well, the Chiefs are going to come back. And then it's like you didn't believe it until Jalen Hurts threw that touchdown pass to Devontae. That's when it was like, oh my God, we're going to blow out the Chiefs.
It's difficult.
It's difficult. As a Philly fan, it's so difficult.
They actually mentioned that on the radio this morning, how people were like, they can't, how Philadelphia fans can't really enjoy the greatness of a team because we're always looking for that rain to fall, I guess.
But I think you're going to see that less with this generation of Philly fan because they've won more. So since 2008,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
they don't know what it's truly like to be truly disappointed, to be a favorite in 4 NFC Championship games in a row and lose them all, right, or 3 out of the 4, and then especially with the Phillies and the bad baseball of the 90s, and then losing in the World Series to Joe Carter. Joe Carter was part of my childhood, disappointment.
Hated Joe Carter.
For the Flyers, it was Ron Hextall and the long goals that he would give up. For the Sixers, it was Iverson and the potential of greatness, and then practice. We talk about practice, and then for the longest time, it was.
He catches such a bad rap for that.
And now he's making money off of it because he did a couple commercials off of it. So it's like
He said everybody thinks it's funny, but him.
Right, and when he, I think I heard when he told the story about it, it's like, yeah,
You
because
get
I
it.
think
You get it when he tells us. Yeah.
because I think like he was actually really stressed out because I think a friend died or something like that,
Friend of
and
his got killed. Yep.
yeah, got killed. So he was speaking out of anger. So I get it. But one of my players who's online on the Instagram live, he said, from a non-biased standpoint, do you truly believe that Saquon can produce as much as he did last season? Um, Something I was actually thinking about because historically running backs don't, at least recently, haven't had like that back-to-back success.
Right.
And Saquon is in that age between him and like King Henry. They're both at that age. But last year, to me, it seemed like they defied that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're going to start to see more running backs where I think you're going to start to see more of a balance of the run and the pass, mainly because of the rule changes. You know what I mean? I think the rule changes are helping on the offensive side more than anything else. So I'm optimistic that he will have a great season, but I think time will tell.
So I'm feeling like can he have? Yes, I think he can. Will he have? No, I don't think he will because for a couple reasons. I don't think that he's going to have the workload that the same workload he had last year.
Mhm.
And also, I believe he has a better backup that can take some reps for him to give him a breather. So I don't think it will be because if he doesn't have the type of year he had. I mean, last year was a historic year, right?
Yeah.
Like it's almost impossible to have two of those years in a career.
Mhm.
Mind you, two of those years back to back, 2,000 yards. However, when you have, I'm going to call him the best running back in the game right now. This is what I'm going to call him. When you have the best running back in the game running behind probably one of the best offensive lines in the game, that's something that we haven't really seen since Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. And
Emmett,
we all know that Emmett was not that. I mean, he was a great running back,
he
but we
wasn't a great.
hold
I will
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
never.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Emmett has the all-time rushing record. I cannot say he's not a great. He ran for more yards than OJ. He ran for more yards than Barry because Barry retired early. He ran for more yards than any running back in the history of the game. All right. So I gotta say that. But he wasn't a running back that if he was running behind a bad offensive line would still be a star. Saquon was running behind a bad offensive line and was still a star. Now they put him behind his Eagles offensive line, and he could be a Hall of Famer tomorrow.
Mhm.
Um, so he's behind the line that will allow him to have that type of production. But I don't think he's going that type of production is going to be warranted or needed by the Eagles, and I don't think that they'll put that on him for this year. However, if they have to, he could have a similar year. He can get close to 2,000. But let's remember, like when you have those type of years, you have a lot of breakaway runs for a lot of yards. Like you have 60-yard runs, 70-yard runs, 50, 40-yard runs multiple times. So,
Right, and teams are going to adjust. They're going to, the Chiefs. The one thing they did good in the Super Bowl was they stopped the run. They just couldn't stop anything else. So that's
go
um,
Birds.
and I'm not going to belabor the point about Emmitt Smith, and I'm not saying this because of a bias thing. I think he's probably I know he has a number, but I think he's the most overrated running back in the history of the NFL.
maybe it's just hard. It's hard to say that when he's got the all-time NFL rushing. It's just hard to say. It's hard to
right.
justify.
If you put him on the Eagles, he'd be Heath Sherman 2.0.
Probably right.
You know,
Probably right.
but it's funny because like whenever you talk to people and you ask them the question, who's the greatest running back that you ever seen? His
And it's
name
not
never.
the answer. No, he's never the answer.
He's never the answer.
Mm-mm.
Never the answer. So I'm not
But
saying
it's just too hard to say that somebody like I couldn't. I mean, we all know LeBron is great, but if he scored the most points in the history of the league and wasn't LeBron James, I still had to call him great because that's a tremendous feat. That's
it
not
is,
something that happens every year.
which is
I
true.
don't
But
know when we'll see another all-time leading rusher. That's not Emmitt Smith.
I think with
He-
LeBron, though, it's hard because he played for other teams and won. Emmett Smith only played for
Good point.
two teams
Good
and
point.
only won with one. So that's why Emmett Smith is trash. Plain and simple.
Good point. And I don't want to harbor on the point that he's the all-time NFL. Like I hate the fact that he's the all-time NFL rushing. I hate it.
He's like the Harold Baines of rushing. He literally ran those yards because he showed up.
If Saquon is the Chiefs bottled Saquon up for the most part in the Super Bowl. If teams decide that they're going to key in on Saquon this year, Miguel, and they say we want to see I'm about to say LeBron. We want to see Jalen win it with his arm. Can the Eagles have the same type of success? Can they win the Super Bowl on Jalen's arm?
I think they can, especially when you have what 4 passing options, including Saquon, who has been seen lining up at the line of scrimmage in preseason practices. So it's like the Chiefs challenged him with his arm, and look what he did, pieced them apart. So it's like it's there. He's just the type of quarterback that he plays. He adjusts for the situation better than any Eagles quarterback I've ever seen. Like with McNabb, you knew what you were going to get, and if teams adjusted to him and were successful, there was nothing else. Like they just okay. It was like, what was the knock on Andy Reid that he never did halftime adjustments? He stuck to the game plan. He died on the hill. He left Winston Justice alone to get 12 sacks on McNabb on Monday Night Football. No adjustment, no help. So it's like
that was ugly.
That was ugly. But in a time period where you have to adjust on the fly, I think Jalen Hurts does it well, even to the point where he self-sacrifices. I'm not going to throw 50 times to try to get a first down. Let's try to run the rock. You know what I mean? Like I think he's really about the main thing, which is his quote. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He keeps the main thing the main thing.
Keeps the main thing. Did that Winston Justice game end his career? I know he played that whole season, but did that basically ended his career?
Yeah, I think he made a couple of rosters, but he was never
the same after that. I'm interested in seeing because I remember early in the season last year when it was about Jalen's arm. And as much of a Jalen fan as I am, and I've been a Jalen fan since he was in college, it looked a little scary when it was about Jalen's arm last year. I mean, I think about the Green Bay game in Brazil, where he almost threw the game away. Almost threw that game away. I think about the Atlanta game.
Yeah.
The Browns game wasn't even that great. So I want to believe that Jalen is the Jalen that we saw 2 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl and lost, because that Jalen was very good tossing the pill. The Jalen we saw in the beginning of last year had some struggles. So I think teams are going to key on Saquon because they're going to have to. They're going to have to key on Saquon because they're going to get beat up if they don't. So we'll definitely see. I think Jalen ends up on a lot of people's lists next year, a lot higher because he wasn't even top 100, I believe, this year. A top 100 player, which I think is crazy. How he's a Super Bowl MVP, not a top 100 player in the league, but it is what it is. Doesn't have to be. He's Super Bowl MVP. Um, Last question for you, Miguel, before we get ready to close out the show. Oh, but you're going to stump me, and we have some videos. I forgot. I'm sorry. And now I just forgot the question. Oh, I remember now. I remember. Game time tomorrow night. What kind of snacks, what kind of drinks you gonna have in front of you?
So there's a bit of a conflict because, and I don't mean to call out my friend, my coworker.
Call them out.
Um,
Call them out.
he's
Right.
terrified of dogs,
Okay.
so he refuses to. Because we were originally going to go to one of like two or three bars in the area, but apparently, I keep forgetting I'm in Baltimore, so they're doing Baltimore things. So a lot of them are like, either two packed or they're charging outrageous prices, blah blah blah. So I offered up my house, everybody come by, yada yada yada. But he said, "Yeah, you have a dog." I'm like, "She doesn't bite." "Oh yeah, I'm not coming." I'm like,
First of all, yes, your dog does bite.
"My dog doesn't bite."
Does your dog have teeth?
Oh my god, you too?
I grew up with dogs. I've had dogs all my life. Does your dog have teeth? Does your dog chew food? Your dog bites. Maybe your dog is not a vicious and aggressive dog, but all dogs bite if they have teeth.
I can't stand you sometimes. So he's my dog. My dog, my dog is not. She's aggressively friendly. Like
I
she
believe it.
will, she will jump on you because she thinks in her mind she's still a puppy. So she wants
Mhm.
to jump up and be in your arms, but she doesn't realize she's 80 freaking pounds. Yes, I'm talking about you. Um, and people fall in love with her eyes because they're like this glass, like cloud color, and they're like, "Oh my god, she's so gorgeous." And she's like, "I know," and then she just licks you to death, and then that's it. And then she rolls on her back, and then she's a cat. So
So let me ask you this: so the coworker said you have a dog. I'm not coming. So what happens now?
I, well, he's not coming. So I got another buddy that's coming down. He's gonna bring drinks because allegedly he specializes in cocktails. I'm like, I'm not really a cocktail type of guy, but whatever. So for me, as guys, we kind of keep it simple, either pizza and wings. Although in Baltimore, the pizza's garbage. They just don't have a handle on it, and everybody keeps telling me, "Is like, why do you keep wanting pizza in Baltimore?" I'm like, "Because Philly's too far away." Um,
DC.
so
DC has pretty good pizza.
still, it's then I got to drive down 295, and 295 is the 76 of
True.
the DMV. You know what I mean?
True.
So yeah,
You gonna
I'm
have
thinking
some mixed drinks, some cocktails, and
wings. There's this local spot called Hip Hop Chicken. They use the chicken crack seasoning. Um,
no steak and cheese sandwiches. 'Cause I know they're on cheesesteaks in Baltimore. They got steak and cheese.
they got this place called Charlie's that makes authentic Philly cheesesteaks, and people are like, "Oh,
Have you been there?
no," because
You
there's no
want
Charlie's.
how authentic is it? Because the bread, you know.
It's all about the bread. I think they use like it's like cafeteria grade, like toilet paper texture bread or some crap. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I had a friend. I got a friend in Jersey, and I was asking him for a suggestion on a cheesesteak spot, and he's from Baltimore. Actually, he could be watching us right now, and he suggested a spot because somebody else was asking me because they were in Jersey, so I asked him, and he sent me the spot, the link, and I looked at it, and I forgot what it was called, but I looked at it and I said, and they had a picture of the cheesesteak, and the roll had seeds on it. I personally cannot stand a roll with seeds on it. I cannot stand it. I think it's disgusting. Like hamburger roll from McDonald's with seeds on it. That's about as far. Burger King. That's about as far as I can go. A cheesesteak with seeds on it. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't do it. Like I will not finish it. I'll have to get all them seeds off somehow. Like the seeds are in the way. Texture issue. I probably got texture issues. I don't know.
Well, I had that with calamari. So calamari is
I love
like
calamari. I love
I
calamari.
can't. It's a texture thing. About like my mom. I saw her open a can of octopus, and
Uh-huh.
I just see that, and it's like, yeah, that I'm eating veins. It's no, I'm not doing that.
I will hopefully never think of it that way. But okay. All right. So what? I don't. You don't have to name the place again. But what do you say you're going to eat?
There's a couple of local spots. There's one called Hip Hop Chicken.
Hip hop chicken.
From what I was told, and I found this out the hard way, you only order the chicken and the fries. You do not order the sides. And I because on the first time that we tried it, I was like, I'm gonna try to be healthy, and I
So
I ordered the collard greens and the string beans, and they taste and smelled exactly the same. And they smelled like they were sautéed in vinegar and urine for 12 years.
oh God, that's nasty.
So imagine the Broad Street subway, or no, the Market Frankfurt L on a 102-degree day with none of the air controlled fans working.
Yeah, we're going to have to move on. I don't want to imagine that.
But yeah, wings, wings, fries, and maybe mozzarella sticks. I think that's what I'm going with.
Okay, I don't know what I'm going to have to eat. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm probably just going to have regular food. But I gotta try to have something, right? First game of the season. I gotta try it. I usually don't have anything special the rest of the season, but the first game I like to have something special. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
pick up a cheesesteak on my way home or something. I
gotcha.
don't know. I'll try something. We'll see. Actually, I got a lot of points on my Wawa. I might order a Wawa pizza.
You like the
It's
Wawa
not
pizza?
special, but
You like the Wawa pizza?
it's okay. I mean, it's edible. It's not something I would recommend, but it's,
Yeah.
it's edible. It's edible. Kind of like the chicken boxes down there. No, chicken boxes be good. So you have some videos for us, right?
Yep, in honor of the opening week of college football, I have one or two. One would qualify as the first one would qualify as a dummy, a big dummy.
All right.
Um, so if you want to hit the share, and I will hit the thing. So the caption says all they have to do is waste 4 seconds, and the game is over. This is a game between Central Michigan and Oklahoma State. So Oklahoma State, I believe, has no. I'm sorry, Central Michigan. Oklahoma State has the ball.
Intentional grounding. Number 2 was still in the pocket, and there was no receiver in the area. There's a loss of down foul at the spot of the foul, and there will be one on time down. First down, Central Michigan.
That, my friends, is a dumb way to lose.
And just like that, Oklahoma State lost their ranking. They have to be unranked now after that. Have to.
Yeah.
Have to be.
Now, on the lighter side, um, crazy freaking play. I don't even know who wound up winning, but this is a game between Delaware and Villanova. But this play is just absolutely phenomenal.
With Daniel Smith taking it. They're throwing it, Steve. Daniel Smith will run. He's taken down.
That's a touchdown. He flipped it up in the air.
He threw it up
An
into the air.
incredible
It's
play.
caught. Wow.
Did you need to see it again?
That was pretty good. Yeah, let's show it again because people might miss it. Let me see it.
With Daniel Smith taking it. They're throwing it, Steve. Daniel Smith will run. He's taken down.
That's a touchdown. He flipped it up in the air.
He threw it up
An
into the air.
incredible
It's
play.
caught. Wow.
I thought he was down, and then I had to look at it on a couple of times. But yeah, he absolutely was not down.
As someone who worked many Villanova versus Delaware football games, that's got to be the best play in that series history, or most amazing or unlikely play in that series history.
Yeah.
We're talking about some good play. We're talking about Joe Flacco. We're talking about Brian Westbrook. We're talking about some good players.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Here's the next one.
So this is a trend that I absolutely love. Apparently, there's parents that are allowed to tackle their children. I don't know if it's just a trend from kiddie football that I kind of like. So this is mom. This is mom versus son. As if you needed to see it from a reverse angle.
So how do you face your teammates after your mom just did that to you in practice? Because I've seen these videos before, right? And I've seen some moms get laid out. I have seen a couple moms get laid out, right? First of all, how do you go back home after you laid your mom out? Right? Shout out to the moms because
they be getting their licks.
they get their licks in, and these kids are fully padded, shoulder pads, helmet, and all like that. And the moms go for it. They lower the boom on these kids. Shout out to the moms out there, man. Shout out to the moms.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this video is captioned "The Bat Boy dog saw an opportunity and decided to take it."
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. The crowd's going wild. So is this dog.
You and I both know, Justin, sometimes when you gotta go, you just gotta go.
Sometimes you just gotta go. Sometimes you just got to go. I've never been in a game where that has happened, but I've seen that happen many times. Where dogs will just they're for one reason they you know what? I gotta take this dookie.
It's the one thing that I have a hard time adjusting to when I'm walking the dog. It's like I can tell when she has to do it now. But before it was just like, hey, dude, tra-la-la. Then all of a sudden she's like, arr. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you tend to realize, okay, they're about to go. And then sometimes I should have said this to you before. You can train them to go on command. We can talk about this later. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
There you
go. So speaking of kind of adjusting to real situation or trying to adjust on the fly, the announcer kind of got the name of a certain player muffed up.
Here is Will Robertson. This game started by Cam Schlittler. Bound to happen one time. Cam went 6 innings.
Yeah, those good old Freudian slips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like when I think it was last season, somebody reversed Jazz Chisholm's name.
I remember that. Yeah.
Here's your next one.
All right. So sometimes there's things that people say that make the broadcasters go silent, but there's also things that people see on camera that makes them go silent.
I go for one of them too. Little it's it.
What's that? It's it.
What's an it's it?
Yeah.
For the folks at home, I on behalf of Chris Carey, I will apologize. Oh, you are a handful, Chris, let me tell you.
Fly ball center.
That'll end the inning. A's down by a few. Gonna try to grab a couple back.
Trying to grab a couple back.
So that was funny, but I felt like they didn't have to be silent for that doggone long. Good Lord. Good Lord. They was out all that doggone time. Get over it, boys. I ain't in middle school no more. Come on, fellas.
I guess it was just hard to overcome.
Wasn't expecting to see it. But
Right. So this next one, this is a game between the Astros and the Angels. And this is reason 2,480 of why you hate the Astros and now their ballpark. Pay attention to the left fielder trying to make
Ramon Urias as he hammers one to left field. It's Taylor Ward back near the wall, and he runs right into the fence. And he is caught.
He's waving at the trainer right away.
Yeah, he went head first into that wall in left field. And you can see the blood forming. He needs a towel. Chafin coming out of the bullpen right away to help close that cut. As he went head first into that wall in left field, and that blood was starting to gush immediately. He needed the towel from the bullpen.
Trying to make it a credible play. All momentum going into the wall. Mentioned that I think it's maybe even the second or third time now. Just praying for him there. He went full force into the wall. Full force.
yeah. I'll tell him. Okay. All right. Just got a call from Aaron Rowan. He said, "Suck it up, kid."
Very well done, sir. Very well done.
Suck it up, kid.
That was. I think I'll do one, maybe two more. I'll do two more. This was actually pretty sad. It was the
sad. What made me cry?
It's sad from a standpoint of it's a 12U game between, and there's a crash out between the umpire and the coach. There's yeah,
I saw that.
And there's debate on whether who was really at fault, but I think, well, we'll discuss.
No, baby, stay right here.
So I've never been to jail before. I've never been to prison, never been locked up. But I used to watch that show, 60 Days In. Okay, 60 Days In is a show where they take I forgot how many people, men and women, and send them to jail for 60 days to get intel on the inside of what's going on. And one of the things they tell these people is don't call anybody the B word because that's instant fight. And it sounded like that coach called that umpire the B word. And that's when, and I gotta be careful what I'm gonna say this, but I love the fact that he did this. That's when the mask came and went across the coach's face. I am one of those baseball people that don't understand why a catcher would take off their mask and helmet, a batter would take off their helmet, or even get rid of the bat when it comes time to fight. You have bats, you have helmets, you have padding, you have masks. Why would you take any of that off when it's time to fight? I'm glad the umpire used that thing. He stepped up in the, so, but here's one thing though. Here's what I will say. I saw an interview with I don't know if he was like the head of umpires for that area. And he said he knows the guy and he talked to the guy and the guy felt threatened and he felt like he needed to protect himself. Not being able to really hear exactly what was being said. I didn't see just because, and we're looking at a 30-second video. I didn't see where I thought that he should have swung first. Now the guy did get in his face and gave him the point, right, and called him the B. And that a lot of times will be the fight starter right there. You know what I mean? That'll be that. And the guy, I guarantee the coach wasn't expecting it. I guarantee the coach wasn't expecting it. He thought he was dealing with an umpire that ain't about that life. And this umpire had to let him know what it is. Actually, I think the umpire is a military veteran too. So, excuse me. Shout out to the umpire. These umpires fight back sometimes.
Yeah, and long story short, they both, I think the cops were called. They both had like misdemeanors for like disturbing the peace or whatever.
First of all, that's dumb. I feel like when people get into a fight, criminal charges don't need to be filed. If somebody attacks somebody, it's different. But if you get into a fight,
right?
Criminal charges.
This is what I tell my parents why I don't get into arguments, because with umpires specifically, because the umpires that we're getting now don't want to be there. Just plain and simple. Like the quality of umpires are going down because they don't want to deal with the parents, and they don't want to deal with coaches. So I think the coach did egg it on, especially from the standpoint of like getting in his face, calling him a B. But I've seen many umpires in many videos just say, "Game over, I'm done," and they just forfeit and then they walk.
Yeah,
it's a lot more. It's a lot more paperwork, but you know what I mean. Which probably would have been the proper way to handle that situation, because a lot of umpires do feel threatened, so they're trained that when they are feeling threatened, call the game.
Okay, and maybe that's what he should have did.
But
sometimes these umpires gotta let people know, like, look, I'm about that life.
Right.
I might be out here as in the capacity of an umpire, but don't let this umpire stuff fool you.
It's early.
Right.
Don't let it fool you.
Right.
Are you stumping me?
Sure. Let's see.
You didn't stump me the last 3 weeks.
I did, and I think you and I had a very disappointing conversation prior to tonight's show about how horrible you are with jersey numbers, and then you're throwing jersey numbers about Reggie White and all these other players, and you're getting it wrong, and it's making me doubt humanity. So here you go, sir. In the interest of the Eagles and the start of the NFL season tomorrow night, here is your first guess for a football player for the 2025 season.
One-time Pro Bowl, one-time All-Pro, one-time Super Bowl champ. And it's green. Does that mean he was with the Eagles? Or does it just happen to be green?
It just happens to be green. Because he did
Number
not win.
30. Is that the Skins, the Eagles, and the Giants?
Correct.
Brian Mitchell. And if you had asked me prior to this show starting what jersey number was Brian Mitchell, I would have got it wrong.
I know.
I would have gotten it wrong. But it was the teams that who did he win the Super Bowl with?
Redskins.
Oh, that's right, because he was around forever.
People forget he was with Washington for like 12 years before he came over to the Eagles. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well, at least I got that one. I feel better about myself. Better about myself.
The streak is over. The losing streak is over.
It's over. I'm back, and it was the first guess too.
Yeah, you.
I tell you what. If I was wrong, I would not have known where to go. If that wasn't it, I would not have known where to go after that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have known. I'm trying to think. So, nope. He played for San Francisco afterwards, and he was 36. So I don't know if there's another guy, but if there is, I'm sure you'll be able to find him and stump me with it. But look, we don't want to. It's time for us to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast with myself and, of course, the brains and brawn of the situation, Coach Miguel Santa. Make sure you check in with us next week as we will we'll recap the Eagles game, and we got to pay attention to some things because there's going to be a lot of sports going on between today and when we see y'all next week. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to take our notes. We're going to try to get some stuff together. I want y'all to bring some friends with y'all, and we're going to make this a family affair. We're going to make this a whole thing, man. Bring some cheesesteaks and some hip-hop chicken and some seeded rolls for your cheesesteaks and your hoagies, and your steak and cheese sandwiches and your subs. And let's just make this a whole party. All right. But with all that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast. We'll talk to y'all next week. Same place. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Peace out, y'all.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.